In the above figure of an eggshell of calcium carbonate, it looks as though there's a binding agent of some sort holding the calcium deposits together. Looking at many different microscopic images of calcium, they come in various different designs and shapes. The strong nuclear force may be a less prudent explanation in this example, because there is no sign of common atomic structure. It is homogeneous in nature and does not look as though it is holding within it any energy. One could easily use a fingernail and separate a collection of matter from the rest of the calcium deposit. If you are at the quantum level in this material, any particle is just as easy to separate from any other particle. There is no strong nuclear force holding the quarks together in any of those protons displayed in the figure. In the above figure, the image is of a microscopic picture of concrete. The strong nuclear force, as a theoretical force explaining all matter, could not be enforced in this example as well. The binding agent in this example is by a process called hydration, in which water makes the cement bond. It is true that the nuclear force is a binding force in the atomic structures like the one in the above figure. But other particles like cement above, if an atom were to be split, very little energy would escape because there is no energy inside the protons or neutrons that make up the nucleus. In the instance of a jackhammer, one has to split two particles that were previously bound together. Clearly, in that case, no energy is being released. If there is a role, such as a particle concerned with making energetic bonds, such as gluon, and it was split, it would also not release a tremendous amount of energy in the concrete example. But comparatively, there would be a large energy release in the hydrogen model. It is clear that in the above figure, the bonding agent in powdered concrete creates the bonds that form in the picture. Microscopic evidence shows the above are not nuclear. The condition of bonding is produced in the above figure when calcium silicate is heated up to over 1400 degrees, and after it is cooled, it is then mixed with water, which creates the bond through a chemical reaction. A refute to the statement is that the atomic nucleus and elementary particles affix the atom together in a sand-like state before the cement is mixed with water, thereby preserving the idea of a strong interaction. However, my counter-argument to that point is that the water causes the bond. It is neither the strong nuclear force or gluons that fuses the material together in the process of hydration. The fuse has the same strength isotropically on the concrete. Water being the sole bonding agent is a direct contradiction to aspects of the strong interaction and gluon state that scientists put forward that is said to ubiquitously affect all matter. Strong nuclear force. The veritable plethora of different types of energy and matter have different examples of how they are bound, what form they are found in, and their true nature. As far as the commonality of bonding goes, the common concept of vibrational adhesives would be the only underlying theme across the whole spectrum of matter on Earth and in the universe that I believe exists that in some way relate to the commonplace of what is explained as the strong nuclear force. There is a labyrinth of potential bonding agents in nature, and there should be a consensus of all those that engage in the pursuit of particle physics to take a deeper path to uncover the mysteries of superstring theory and the tiny vibrational sequences encompassing and binding a whole universe, as it relates to a concept such as the strong nuclear force, to continue the pursuit of finding a grand unified theory. Before the 1970s, the strong nuclear force was not determined. Physicists were wondering what held protons and neutrons together. They came up with the strong interaction and gluons that binds quarks, protons, and neutrons to the nucleus. From my estimations, looking at many different microscopic images, the glue that holds matter together is a frozen vibrational strand in properties with lower temperatures and pieces that were forged in high heat indexes that wrap around or secure themselves by fitting together with bonding vibrations locking to the other particles. Again, the mention of freezing in terms of binding agent is not necessarily, but could be, an adjective for temperature cooling. In the figure above, the calcium carbonate is the same material on the outside of the chicken egg. The chicken's internal thermometer usually will not exceed 107 degrees, so the creation of calcium carbonate would by definition not exceed that temperature either. The calcium carbonate is fused and copied and forms the outer shell, creating mass in a relatively cooled environment. However, high heat indexes are possible in mass creation as well, such as the example of the conditions that igneous rocks are originated in. They are melted in the furnace of the Earth's core, creating vibrational patterns that heat up from the ether and gain mass. They are then released via molten lava on the Earth's surface and cooled down to create the Earth's crust. Cosmological constant. The cosmological constant denoted lambda as a theory proposed by Albert Einstein in 1917 in lieu of Edwin Hubble's making the observation of galaxies moving away. He, in my opinion, incorrectly abandoned it because Hubble's constant was specifically citing expansion on the outer reaches of the universe. If used in tandem with the dark energy concept, the cosmological constant could explain the difference of velocities of galaxies at the end of the universe. Lambda states that there is an energy density that moves outward, a repulsion force in nature. It exists everywhere and most likely can be woven inside space-time. I've seen multiple values for lambda, 1.5 times 10 to the negative 9th, another 2.036 times 10 to the negative 35th, and quantum field theory predicts lambda as 10 to the 113th power joules per minute cubed. As a force, it has a hard time being intuitively understood as an explanation to us as humans because we are living in an equilibrium of lambda and g, the gravitational constant on Earth. This is a pushing and pulling effect that is pervasive to us on Earth, and the repulsive force of the cosmological constant is only seen in the cosmos. We strictly feel only one attractive single force and use the adjective gravity to describe it. In the reality of nature, we could describe this force as Newton's third law, but we would have to stipulate that the two equal and opposite forces are a cancellation of each other. So we feel like only one force is acting on us. Some sort of outward force needs to be present in both the steady state model and Big Bang model to observe that the universe is static and galaxies are moving away. If the universe is moving away in a lambda CDM-like way seen in traditional Hubble redshift datasets, the combination of the Hubble constant, cosmological constant, and centrifugal force could be unified into one super divergent force.